G'day, Happy New Year, welcome. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. G'day, I am Rach or Rara and welcome to my floss tubing channel. I am a Kiwi cross stitcher. I remembered that part. I am having problems with the camera. I feel like there's a huge gap up here, but I'll see what it looks like when I play it back. I'm having problems with the holder thingamajiggy. Okay, so we are at the end of January and I am just starting Flosstube for the year. This will be a relatively quick video. There isn't a lot to show. And just talk about what my plan is for the year. I think that is it really. I am very rusty. I haven't done a video since the 24th of December. So, if you've been here before, you will notice the background looks different. If you didn't watch the Christmas countdown, you won't have seen this background. I have turned 90 degrees. I used to look straight out that window and the camera used to be hung off this shelf up here. But I realised, okay, so firstly I did that to fit a bed in here because I had family coming for 5 weeks. I realised when I took the bed out that I had a nice big space here behind me, just in here, that I could exercise in. It means I can shut the door, I won't get walked in on anybody, and I can just work away at my little exercise regime. So that's why the view has changed. So I've got a window straight in front of me, as you can tell, and this one, which I'll have to stay closed for the videos because otherwise it will completely bugger up the screen. So I think that is that. G'day to a whole heap of new subscribers in this since the beginning of the year really. I don't know if someone has mentioned me. I don't know if you found me because of the Disney stuff, in which case sadly you're going to be disappointed because there won't be any more Disney now until later in the year. So yeah, if you are here because of Flosstube and someone mentioned me, please let me know so that I can go and thank them. I am a one-take wonder, so there will be lots of ums and repeating my words and things like that because I film on a very old iPhone that doesn't have the ability to pause, and my editing skills are rubbish. That being said, I did want to add a photo to this video. If I can figure it out, there will be a photo at the end. So, about the photo then. Stitchy group started back yesterday, and Bev, if you've been playing along and you saw my, oh, there's going to be a cat fight, if you saw my little 3 or 4 minute video from Stitchy group, the Christmas video last year, you will have seen Bev hold up her Lucy Calcott 1826. She has finished it. It is amazing. I took a photo, so I will see if I can figure out how to edit it into either this precise moment, or it will be at the end of the video, or sadly you won't see it. If I can't figure it out, next time I video I will show up the photo on the phone. Such is my editing talent. I just want to peek. Oh, okay. All the cats are coming. We still have no cats. We nearly had a cat, or actually we nearly had siblings. But for those of you that don't know, I care for my mother who has Alzheimer's, and she got very confused about these cats. We have interlopers from the neighbourhood at the moment because we're in the middle of summer. We have the doors flung open and all the cats come in and have a visit and a pat and a lie on the sofa. And she got very confused about the cat that was lying on the sofa and these new cats, and my father and I decided that it was actually going to be harder looking after her with the cats than actually looking after the cats. So we have decided that we have missed the boat for cats for the time being because it's just too confusing for her to remember what needs to be remembered, which is basically don't let them outside. So anyway, that's where we're at. Right, I am going to show you the pathetic amount of stitching I have done in the last 6 weeks. My teensy bit of haul. There is a package in New Zealand on the way from 123 Stitch which has fabric for one of the things I have brought, fabric for Touching the Autumn Sky, a whole pile of presidential blue, Gentle Arts presidential blue. I ordered 10 skeins and they didn't query it, so hopefully there are 10 skeins in the package. And I also actually ordered belatedly the 2019 Just Cross Stitch Christmas Ornament Edition, because I've got them all. I've got the CD now, so I kind of I want to just keep getting them even if there isn't much in them. But I find there is always something. It's just not necessarily recognised designers anymore. Anyway, so my little bit of haul. The first thing I have, oh look, there we go. This is the 2020, I'll hold it up properly, the 2020 Modern Folk Embroidery Sale for 2020. Okay, and now my father's coming home. Hopefully he won't barge in because the door is closed. Those of us at Stitchy Group who are interested are actually doing this as a stitch along this year as well. So we're doing it as a group. I think there are at least 8 or 9 of us that are doing it in our little group. Our group is only about 8, so it must be about that, just about everybody. So I have got the fabric for that coming, and I'm doing it in presidential blue. The other thing that I have purchased is this little number. It is Jane Marshall 1857, and it is a fundraiser for 2 brigades of the New South Wales Rural Fire Service, put out by Hands Across the Sea. You need to go to their website to find it, and it is only available until the end of March, I believe. It's £10, which if you're a Kiwi, it cost me $20. So it's a beautiful little sampler, and it's going to a good cause. So if you haven't got it already, I heartily recommend it. Okay, let's hope my father doesn't barge in. Okay, I'll do the little bit of stitching and then I'll tell you how the year's going to pan out this year. So yesterday at Stitchy Group I worked on Plum Street Samplers A Country Winter. So if you've seen this before, I have got the house done. So I added a tree. That is it so far. And the tree took me about an hour and a half with talking. So it should not, I should get this finished this year. I really should. There is no excuse other than my not stitching. You'll need a magnifying glass for this one. I put some work into Joy. If you are following closely, you will wonder what on earth I have done, and you are right to wonder that. I literally added the leaves down here. I actually thought when I was pulling it out, I am now halfway, but I am not now halfway because I still haven't added the leaves here. Pitiful. And the last thing I added some stuff to is this Prairie Schooler Christmas sampler, and I'm doing the middle one, which is the night before Christmas. And I have started working on Santa in the circle, so his hat and his beard and hair. That is it for 6 weeks. Bev finished a stonking great sampler and I did bugger all. Right, so this year I am starting nothing new other than the Modern Folk Embroidery Sale and Touching the Autumn Sky, which again, if you haven't been here before, I am borrowing from a very kind viewer in Australia who's lent me her copy. So hopefully that will start soon because the fabric is in this order that's now currently in New Zealand. I hope it's a good enough bit of fabric. I tried to find something close to what the picture and the description said. So anyway, so I am taking, I think I worked it out, I have got 15 whips, including those two new pieces. So my plan this year is to work on getting the smaller things finished. I am going to do a rotation whereby every piece gets 4 days, and then I move on to the next one for 4 days. And hopefully that will really make a good chunk at the smaller things. So Joy I want to get finished, Country Winter I want to get finished. Words usually go pretty quickly, so the Prairie Schooler hopefully I can get finished. I've got a Pineberry Lane, Bringing Home the Tree. I've only got trees to stitch, so that should get finished. There's another small thing in that bag. I can't think what it is at the moment. It might be the Pineberry Lane thing actually. So there's quite a few things. My pond lily, Mirabilia, she only needs her head and her wings and her beads. So there's a lot of things I want to try and finish, and then the big pieces will just get moved on a bit more. So I'm doing 4 days. Each of the 15 projects get 4 days. That's 4. And I am also having a focus piece, which means it gets more days. And my focus piece initially is Touching the Autumn Sky, because I'm borrowing the chart. I want to get it done and back to Susan relatively quickly, even though she's not in any great hurry to do it herself or get the chart back. She's been very kind to me. I'm very lucky. But I want to get it done. So I will do projects 1 to 5, then I will do the focus piece, and then I will do 6 to 10, and then I'll do the focus piece, and so on. So the focus piece will get its slot in the rotation plus 3 extra slots. So after 5, after 10, after 15, it will get a slot. So hopefully that will move quite quickly. My modern folk embroidery will only have 1 slot, so I don't expect to get more than 2 or 3 parts finished this year, sadly. Hopefully it will speed up a bit more as I get the smaller things finished. But I'm thinking about, I will also do it, it will have its slot and it will have the Stitchy Group time. So every fortnight when I go to Stitchy Group, that's what I'm going to work on as my cell, like what we're all doing. So that's my plan for that. Once I finish Touching the Autumn Sky, the focus piece will become the closest to finish, and I'll just tick them off like that. So with that in mind, because I'm doing 4 days per piece, I'm going to film fortnightly rather than weekly. Otherwise it's going to be 2 minutes long and there are going to be 2 things. And I'm not buying because I am saving my money. So other than obviously replacing threads, but I'm not buying loads of charts or anything like that this year. So I think the best thing to do to make it interesting will be a fortnightly video instead of weekly this year, starting from today, so every 2 weeks from now. And that way there's a decent number of things to show you. I think that is the way to do it. Also, to be forewarned, I suspect as November rolls around, things will taper off because the excitement level will be increasing. So if you don't know, and if you do know, I'm sorry, you have to listen to it again. On Wednesday the 29th of January it will be 10 months until I go to Disneyland in California. So that is why I'm not buying stash, because all of that money is going into my Disneyland fund. So I imagine come November I'm going to be pretty excited, and the stitching is probably going to taper off, and I might even just, the channel might go on a vacation itself for a little bit of time until, I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead, but I do know that it will probably taper off, so be warned about that. But hopefully between now and October we can knock out a few projects, get some finished, and make some good progress on some of the others. So that is my plan. It's very gobbledygook because that's how I operate. I don't think there's anything else I had to say at this point, and yep, don't think so. I shall leave you to it, and I will play this back and check it's passable, and then I will figure out how to add in Bev's photo. It will be the only photo added if I can do it, so if I do, it is Bev's Lucy Calcott 1826 that she finished sometime over the Christmas break. Okay, have a good week, or two in this case, I better remember that now. Have a good fortnight, and I will catch you in 2 weeks with hopefully a few things progressing. Bye everyone.